Okay, this is the third and final time that look at the camera, please. Oh my god. This is the third and final time that I'm restarting this video because I'm not doing it again. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten today, and there is Indian food. There is chicken biryani in the fridge with naan with my name on it. I'm hungry. I'm trying to eat. Okay, really quickly, welcome back. The last video I posted was September 30th. That was my guts reaction video. Okay, long story short, this is the computer that I used. Oh my. Anyways, that's not important. And I know that every time I say I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be more consistent. I really tried, but my computer literally it's shut down. It stopped working. I couldn't log into it. I couldn't access anything, get past the factory settings. I didn't want to reset it because I didn't want to lose any of my stuff. It's still not working. We're not focused on that today. Today, you saw the title of the video. This isn't an original idea. I was scrolling on YouTube and I saw somebody else do this, and I watched that video, and then I saw another video recommended. I'm gonna link them both down below so you can go check them out. I looked up a few articles. I just looked up the biggest moments that happened this year regarding pop culture. I'm gonna link the articles that I used, that I pulled from, in the description box so you can go check them out. I did not put every single thing from those lists in mine because one, I didn't know about everything that happened, and then two, I didn't really care about some of the stuff, and then three, I felt like some of it was irrelevant to the video that I'm making. I'm gonna be ranking all of the pop culture moments that I picked of this year. So if you're coming back, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna show you my tier list. So this is my list, and I'm just gonna go through the tiers so that you understand, and then I'm gonna get into it. So like I said, this is gonna be a video of me ranking moments that happened this year. So as you can see, I have these tiers right here. I decided to personalize them because this is my tier ranking. This is my channel. So this first tier is peak moment me things. These are things that were super iconic that happened this year that I also have a lot of personal interest in and that I really love and enjoy. This next tier, these are things that happened that were pretty iconic, that maybe weren't my personal favorite, but I did enjoy them to some extent, and you can't deny that they happened. You know, they were pretty big. This next one, made noise. You know, these are things that happen. I don't feel any sort of way towards them. You know, I'm kind of indifferent. Second to last tier, she ain't no diva. I mean, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Maybe not if you're not chronically online, but this is basically things that happen that I wish didn't happen, or things that happen that I don't like, things that I don't really care about, things that are just like, okay, like, yeah, whatever, you're here, chop. These are things that I wish didn't happen. They should not have happened. They shouldn't exist. They should be erased from human history. My life would not be changed any which way, or no, or my life actually might be better if this thing didn't happen, and it's a chop for me. Golden Globes happened, and yeah, I was watching, they were cool. I didn't make a video about the Golden Globes, but yeah, I think everything was pretty much deserved from what I saw. But somebody did host the Golden Globe. His name is Gerard Carmichael. He had something interesting to say.
Man, I didn't think I'd spend this much time telling y'all to shut the f up.
He said that on live television. You know what? I'm not judging. It was funny. So I'm gonna give the Golden Globes, I'm gonna put it's giving, just because I was really happy for certain individuals who won Golden Globes for their performances, and this is what I do. This is the kind of thing that I'm interested in. It's what I watch, and I think it's pretty fun that it happened. Next thing we're gonna talk about Prince Harry's book. If you didn't know, earlier this year Prince Harry released a book. It's called Spare. I didn't read it, I'm not gonna lie, but I know people have read it. What he talked about in the book, I don't know. This man did reveal a lot of things. I didn't need to hear some of the things that he discussed. I'm gonna put made noise just because a lot of people were talking about this book, especially some of the contents that were in this book, but I didn't read it. I don't know. Anyways, it made noise, so I'm gonna put that there. So if by somehow you were living under a rock, Shakira, and I think it's Bizarrap, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I've been saying his name. But earlier this year, Shakira and Bizarrap released a collab, Music Sessions Volume 53. This song, when it first came out, you know, there was a lot of course, like, we know what the song is about. The song is about PK, you know, and PK's infidelity. She aired it out. It's a great song, okay? Even if you don't understand Spanish, it's a great song. It's a great hit. It's like, it's fun, and it's catchy, and it makes you want to dance, and it makes you feel good. It's just a great collaboration. I'm gonna put it at peak moment me thinks, just because it was everywhere. It was fun, and I sang it all the time, and I still sing it to this day, and it still hits to this day. So love that. Okay, next is a little show called The Last of Us. Now, if you're not aware about The Last of Us, The Last of Us is basically an original show on HBO. It's based off a video game. I played parts 1 and 2. The show was great. The performances were great. Shout out to Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, you know. Since I liked it so much, I think I'm gonna put it, for me, I'm gonna put peak moment, just because me personally, I have played the game and I've known about the game for years, and I really liked both games, and the show was really good, and I was so excited. When I first heard this was being developed into a show, I was so excited, and I could not wait. Going into February, I'm just gonna start it off. An artist by the name of Rihanna, she had her comeback. She performed for the 2023 Super Bowl. First of all, I have to say, looking back at it all these months later, like, it's still so good. It's still one of the best Super Bowl performances that I've ever seen. I mean, this is so iconic. You know, sis has been gone since 2016. That was almost 10 years ago. There's no time for that. I have to put it at peak moment, methinks, because how could you not? The Grammys happened, as they do every year, and I did tune into the Grammys. I don't need to get into all of that because I actually did make a video about the Grammys, which you should definitely go check it out. You know, shameless plug, go check out my video on the Grammys. This woman right here, she now has the most Grammys of any person living or dead. A whopping 32 Grammys. I mean, if that's not iconic, I don't know what is. This year for Beyonce has been crazy. Shout out to the queen. Yes, this was an iconic achievement, so it has to go in peak moment, methinks. I know I put the last 3 things on my list in peak moment, methinks, but it's time to go to the opposite end. So if you're not aware, there's a brand. I'm not even gonna get into all of that. These boots right here, oh my god, they were like inescapable for like 2 weeks. I don't know where they just showed up out of nowhere and they didn't go away. It was like NFTs. It's like, why does everybody have these now, and why does everybody care? Like, I don't understand. I don't get. Maybe I'm just not a fashion person. Maybe I'm just out of the loop. Maybe I'm just not tuned in. Okay, I'll accept it if I'm not tuned in, but these boots were not for me. So I'm gonna put them in Shane No Diva, just because they did make noise, but I didn't like it. So that's why it's going here. Okay, so this is the part of the video where I realized that I'm tripping. This picture is Oscars. This is Emmys. I addressed it. Let's move on. The Oscars happened. I was very much watching the Oscars. I did make a video about the Oscars, so I'm not really going to talk about it. I know in my Oscars video I said I didn't watch The Whale. I have since seen The Whale, guys. I really am a cinephile, I promise. There were a lot of great moments that happened. I'm gonna put this in peak moment, methinks, just because I was rooting, oh my god, I was rooting for Ke Huy Quan so bad. I was rooting for Michelle Yeoh so bad. I was rooting for Brendan Fraser too. I think I mentioned that in my Oscars video. Like, you know, and it's really nice that they all won and they were happy about it and blah blah blah. So the next thing that happened is the Eras Tour. So I'm not a Swiftie. I have nothing against Taylor Swift. I think she's great. The Eras Tour, I guess apparently she was like going through the eras of her albums and stuff on this tour, and it was like huge. That's all I really have to say about it. I didn't see Taylor Swift on tour. I'm gonna give it its giving, just because it was so huge. Okay, the next item on the docket is the Met Gala. I watched the red carpet, as I do every year. The theme for this year's Met Gala, it was definitely a theme, but this was pretty iconic. I'm gonna put this at Made Noise. The WGA, aka Writers Guild of America, went on strike. Okay, these hardworking folks right here, they wanted to be paid fairly, compensated fairly, they wanted to be treated fairly, and this strike lasted months, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna put this strike, I'm gonna put it at its giving, because it was very important. It's historic, and they didn't give in, by the way. They were striking until they got exactly what they wanted. So a little movie called The Little Mermaid came out this year, which I was super duper excited about. I will talk more about this movie in my next video, but just really quickly, I'll say I was anticipating this movie since I heard Halle Bailey was gonna be Ariel. Oh my god, I was so prepared. I saw this movie 4 times, y'all. The Little Mermaid, it was great. I loved it. As soon as it came out on streaming, I bought it. I'm gonna put The Little Mermaid, put it at its giving. You know, I really loved it. Halle Bailey was great. We're gonna talk about this freaking oh my god, that's scary. I wasn't gonna include this because I'm like, I don't really care, but I feel like it was too big not to mention. Earlier this year, McDonald's came out with a Grimace shake. I don't like, you know, the internet loves to like make everything out of nothing, and there's like Grimace lore, like it's too much. So I'm gonna put this at made noise. It didn't do anything to hurt me personally, or it didn't make me feel any negative kind of way. Next, we're gonna talk about something iconic, something revolutionary. No, we're not gonna talk about it. I already made a video. Go watch the video where I talked about Renaissance World Tour. I'm gonna link it. Go check out the link. I already talked about it, so we're not gonna talk about it anymore. All I need to say was it was iconic. I watched it. I saw the show many times. Though I was only there physically one time, I watched many different shows via Instagram Live, TikTok Live, and YouTube. Also, this tier, She Ain't No Diva, was inspired. Obviously, I have to give this peak moment methinks, because are you kidding? The fact that I don't even need to explain why I'm putting it in this tier is why it belongs exactly there. So I know I've been talking a lot about things that are in this tier, this tier, this tier, this tier. You know, there's nothing has been a chop as of yet. But we're gonna fix that, because we're talking about, I'm not even gonna sing it. Oh my god. I hate the fact that this song is so catchy. Like, just looking at this I hear it playing in my head in that freaking ukulele. Like, if you don't know who this is or what this picture references, just really quickly, there is a YouTuber by the name of Colleen Ballinger. Long story short, the person behind Miranda Sings, Colleen Ballinger, she was exposed earlier this year for having inappropriate relations with minors. Hello? After ignoring the allegations, I'm saying allegedly so I don't get sued, but girl, after avoiding these allegations for weeks, this person decided to respond to these allegations via a 10-minute apology song titled The Toxic Gossip Train. I don't need to explain to you why that probably wasn't a good choice, and that was like kind of disgusting. So I'm gonna put this in chop, because what do you mean what? I did see clips from the first episode. I didn't tune into the show. I just saw clips, and then the things that I heard, the more I heard about the show as it was coming out, the more I was like, what? It's a chop for me. It's a chop for me. From the clips I've seen, from the behind the scenes interviews, from the this and the that, it's a chop for me. We're gonna talk about I'm gonna say that we're gonna talk about the most iconic thing that happened in film of 2023. Barbenheimer. Long story short, there is a movie called Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig. There is also a Kristen Nolan film that came out titled Oppenheimer. People started to notice that these movies were coming out at the same time. People were very excited to see the Barbie movie, because a lot of people have played with Barbies. A lot of people know what Barbie is. Greta Gerwig's the director. Margot Robbie is the lead. Ryan Gosling is Ken. Of course I want to see the Barbie movie. Are you crazy? And then Christopher Nolan, lead Cillian Murphy, all of these wonderful, amazing actors. Of course people want to see a Christopher Nolan film. Hello, it's freaking Christopher Nolan. Are you crazy? And the fact that these movies were dropping on the same day, iconic. What I love most about this Barbenheimer thing, I love that it was something that happened naturally. I love it was something that lovers of movies just created, and it definitely did start out as a joke, but as the weeks came closer to July 21st, people were serious about having that double feature, you know what I'm saying? Arguing about what to see first, what to wear. I did see Barbie first on Friday, on the 21st. I saw Oppenheimer the next day on the 22nd. I love everything about Barbenheimer. All of the memes were amazing, and thank God the strike, the SAG-AFTRA strike, happened after these movies came out, I believe. Or it wasn't after. I know that the strike happened the day of the UK premiere or the London premiere of Oppenheimer. I'm just so happy, so grateful that we were able to get a lot of press. We got a lot of press before the strike. I'm gonna put this in peak moment me things, because what the freak? Hello? It was so iconic. I don't want to talk about this, but it is something that happened. There's a man by the name of Elon Musk who decided to purchase the social media platform Twitter, and instead of end world hunger, he decided to purchase this platform for a whopping $42 billion. And then proceeded to run it into the ground. That's not new. What is new is that he decided to change the name of this platform to X. You know, Have you seen Game of Thrones? I don't think this happened in the show, but in the Game of Thrones book, in the first book, I finished reading recently because I am a reader. In a Game of Thrones, there's a character by the name of Rickon, and he has a pet. He gains a pet, and all of his siblings like name the pet. He's the youngest. He's 3 years old. The book talks about him naming his pet Shaggy Dog because he's 3 years old and he's a baby, and of course a 3-year-old baby would name something Shaggy Dog because that's like appropriate for a 3-year-old. This man is pushing something. He named it X for some reason that I do not recognize this platform as X. It is still Twitter to me. It's infuriating, not just because it happened, but because it doesn't make sense. Like, I would understand if he wanted to name it like Social Network and he had like a whole rollout for why he wanted. I would be mad because I'm like, why are you calling it Social Network? But at least I can see the vision from, or there's meaning there. Why would you call it X? There's no, it's a chop, babe. It's if you know what, if I had a tier that was lower than chop, that's where this would be. To put some good news back, SAG-AFTRA went on strike. They had demands that they wanted they wanted residuals. They were not getting residuals. Same thing with the writers. Nobody was getting residuals. Nobody was getting paid or compensated fairly. There were no protections against AI. We're gonna put that in It's Giving because it was really important that it happened, and I'm glad that it happened. And again, they all got their demands. So okay, so if you're wondering who this white woman is, her name is Bobby, I think Althoff is how you pronounce her last name. She just like kind of popped off, and I feel like within a few weeks she was like interviewing every celebrity ever, and I was like, where did she come from? Like, what? She just like was kind of everywhere for a bit. And I gotta say, like, I'm not too invested in this woman or her podcast. I didn't really check on, it wasn't my cup of tea. I'm just gonna put it like on Made Noise just because like she was kind of everywhere for a while, and I was like, okay, well, I don't see the appeal, but if y'all like it, okay, all right. Getting into the first and only celebrity couple. Now, I feel like I have to talk about this because this pairing happened a couple months ago, and people are still talking about it. I still see it talked about on my timeline. Oh my god, I do not care about this relationship. I'm not even like a Chiefs fan like that. I'm gonna put it in Made Noise because made noise because it made noise, and it's still making. We don't need to talk about it anymore, okay? This man, if you don't know him, his name is Martin Scorsese. He recently directed an amazing film called Killers of the Flower Moon. Have I seen Killers of the Flower Moon? No. But I haven't been able to make it to the theaters. And this is his daughter. He was popping on TikTok for a little bit. He was doing the filters and the challenges and the Gen Z slang, and he was doing all of those things. So I'm gonna put Made Noise just because I wasn't super invested, but it was definitely something that happened. And this book was like I don't know if I want to call it a tell-all. I don't know if that's like appropriate. I didn't read the book, but I have heard some excerpts from the book, and I've heard some revealing things. And Britney Spears has been through a lot. She's been through so much, and so I have so much respect for her for wanting to just like get it out all in the open and just want to speak her truth and do it in a way where she can actually control what's being said about her. And this book was pretty iconic. It shook some feathers for sure. It exposed some truths for sure. It made some people mad for sure, as it should, and I'm glad that she released the book. I'm glad that she was able to do it on her own terms, and I'm glad for Britney. I want to see Britney happy. I'm gonna put It's Giving just because she deserves happiness, and she was happy about the book. I'm rooting for Britney, so that's where that's going. So next I'm gonna talk about, really briefly, this Eras movie. It was a movie of the tour. If you're not aware, earlier I talked about the Eras tour that happened. Taylor Swift released the Eras tour movie. I didn't watch the movie because I don't know her discography like that, and I'm not a Swiftie, but I'm gonna put Made Noise. In my mind, I feel like the tour is here because I feel like it was bigger in my head. Again, this is a personal list, okay? I already told you I'm not a Swiftie. Swifties don't come for me. I'm sorry. The strike ended. I don't even need. I'm gonna put it in It's Giving. Actually, I'm putting it in It's Giving because it's very important. And I'm glad that negotiations were able to happen, and I'm glad that people don't have to stop working or people can go back to work, because you know these people, they were not working, they were not making any money, and you know I'm just really glad that it's over. Everybody can get back to work now, and everybody can be paid and compensated fairly, and I hope that everybody else goes on strike. I'll talk about this in my next video because it's a film. So just really quickly, I'll say this is like the last item that I have for the year. This is like, I feel today is the 19th and I don't feel anything like super big has happened that I want to add to end out this list. There are probably things that happened that I'm missing, but I either didn't see them or just don't really care that much. But this film came out on December 1st. I saw it on the 30th. It was great. It was amazing. We Are the Visual Baby. I'm gonna put this film in peak moment me thinks, just because I mean the film was great. I love you know, it wasn't just a great film, but me personally, I just really enjoy documentaries, behind the scenes, anything where I can see the process of how something is made. Definitely peak moment me thinks. These are just things that, you know, I picked from the list. There was more that happened. Again, there are links in the description if you want to see other things that happened this year. These are just the things that I thought would go on my personal list, things that made an impression on me. School is over. I'm out. I definitely plan on making a lot more content. My next video, I'm going to be talking about films that I watched this year that I enjoyed. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to subscribe, that'd be cool. If not, that's okay. I appreciate you coming back. I appreciate you giving me grace. I appreciate you just tuning in. If you want to follow me elsewhere, my link tree is down below. Bye. Mbaku says bye.